guy were talking, and he's like, man, I wish I had, I really appreciate what it is you're doing. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? He said, well, I bought this inflatable, and I spent $4,600 on this inflatable, and man, you're getting a steal on it, getting a deal, and this thing is barely a year old. And I told him, I said, well, I tell you, when I started in this thing, I had to look at it, and this is before I even had a mentor.
Turn me up.
Hey, what's good, YouTube? What's good? This your guy Eric, man, from the Eric Experience, and I just wanted to come to you about something. I went to go pick up an inflatable yesterday, some inflatables, some blowers, and stuff like that. You know, to get the business, the backside of it. Because oftentimes what we forget about, and especially me, is you get caught up in the purchase of the inflatables, the purchase of the things that, when you go to an event, the things that the average person sees. So what you see when I drop off an inflatable, you see the water slide, you see the bounce house slide, you see these massive, colorful, engaging inflatables, and you lose your mind, and myself included. As well as the tents and the tables and the chairs, and the concessions, popcorn machines, cotton candy machines, all these things. That's what you see. But what you don't see and what you don't think about are the things that make these things run. As far as extension cords and blowers and tarps and stakes, and all these things that make the business run, and the websites and the insurance and the safety classes. All the things behind the scene that make this engine run is what basically I was going to do, but I kind of got off track. The purpose of this right now is for that would-be person that is they're starting their business, they've been in their business, and me and the guy were talking, and he's like, man, I wish I had, I really appreciate what it is you're doing. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? He said, well, I bought this inflatable, and I spent $4,600 on this inflatable, and man, you're getting a steal on it, getting a deal, and this thing is barely a year old. And I told him, I said, well, I tell you, when I started in this thing, I had to look at it, and this is before I even had a mentor. I had to look at what it is I'm trying to do with this business. And what I'm trying to do with this business is be on a level where I touch and I reach the lives of hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of people. And you wonder, well, how can I do that? And that's for a later day. That's for a later conversation. But after all is said and done, that is my purpose. That is what I'm here for. And how can I do that? And I drop $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000. Like there's some inventory out there right now that costs $10,000 and $12,000 and $20,000. I wish I had. I would love to have these things. But you drop that kind of money on it, what else you got? Really, what else do you have? That's all you got. Not to mention the fact you drop that money in all those things I mentioned before, the extension cords and the blowers and the tarps and all these things, all that stuff still has to be paid for, just to make the event an event. You still have to get those things, so you can easily turn a $5,000 or $6,000 slide into a $6,000, $7,000 purchase just to make it rentable. So the purpose of everything I'm talking about is buying new versus buying pre-used. Be very careful when you buy used. And first, let's do this first. Let's start with new. With new, you're getting the latest and the greatest. Some of the most beautiful stuff. It's vibrant. It's beautiful. It blows up tight. Off of if it says that this will operate off a 1.5 horsepower blower, you best believe that thing's going to operate off a 1.5 horsepower blower, and be very tight, and I mean it's just gonna be the best thing. It has that, like you get a new car, and it has that new inflatable smell. I mean, it's just undeniable. It's like the best thing, you know. So and when you get it, it's almost like a Christmas present when you get a new inflatable. But you know, like he said, he experienced it. I've experienced it too. Is that when you buy that, that isn't it. You buy the inflatable, you also got to pay for the delivery. You got to pay for the blower. You got to pay for the steaks. Some of these big boys take, you know, 10, 15 steaks at $5 and $6 a piece. Some places are overblown as far as prices are concerned, but that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, you're going to be charged a lot. I personally, and this is just me talking, this is Eric Johnson's opinion, would not spend and buy a bunch of brand new stuff if you just started. There's a very sad truth when it comes to this business, and the reason I'm kind of getting you know, dark on this situation, because for as many businesses, inflatable businesses that started, there's just that many, if not more, closing down. People get into the business with the wrong expectations, and they think it was just this quick fix. And again, they get into it with the wrong mindset, without the research, you know. And when they got into it and they saw this awesome slide blown up, or this awesome bounce house, and they seen their kids, or they did it for themselves. They rented one. They're like, wow, you know, we spent $500 on this rental. How about we just get one? And then they realize, oh, people are asking us for our bounce house slide combo. How about we turn this into a business? And then, you know, and it you know, kind of goes from there. But they never really researched what they're doing. Just kind of went with the mindset of, well, you know, if people are asking us, you know, our friends and family, then this is an easy fix, and this is what we're going to do. So now, since we went and bought this thing for our kids brand new, we're going to go buy some more brand new ones. We'll get a couple of them. And they never think about the insurance, they never think about the website, they never think about the marketing, because they were so easy to jump into. And it's an extremely easy thing to get into. But you don't think about the longevity, you don't think about everything that goes into it, and you don't think about, when you have this business, variety is a key. It is a plus. I mean, for me, it's a must. You have to be able to not only have variety, but you have to have enough inventory to service your community. And if you don't have enough inventory to service your community, and you got 2-3 pieces of inventory, or maybe 5, yeah, you can do decent if you just simply want to be a weekend warrior and you have no real means of no real determination to scale. Then, you know, it's great. But let's just say you got 5 pieces of inventory, or you're like me. My first piece, I got 4 pieces of inventory to start with. If you took the 4 pieces of inventory that I bought and you bought them new, those 4 pieces would have cost me easily $13,000 to $15,000, easy. And that's without stakes, that's without blowers, that's without anything. I got an awesome deal in what I bought at a fraction of the cost. Flawless, still bright, blow up with 1.5 horsepower blowers, no stains, no mold, no dirt. I mean, the people took excellent care of them. I mean, you couldn't ask for more. And this is before I had mentorship. I mean, it was a blessing, really, how I got into it. And so I kind of stuck with that. So, you know, I've spoken in great lengths about buying new versus, you know, buying new. That's my take on new. Hold on, we got emergency vehicles going by. That's my take on new. And it's definitely not a take of don't buy new. You know, that's my take on new. Now, here's my take on used. I got lucky buying used in the beginning from a business which I said is sad to say, that's going out of business for whatever their various reasons are. And they were actually really successful, because they did it the smart way. They actually bought it from a successful company that was already successful, already had a following, already had clients, and they basically just took absolutely everything from that person, turned the key, and they're off running from a proven business, which is, we'll talk about later. I didn't have that. I went into it. I had been researching for about 18 months, and so I still wasn't fully prepared. But, again, for me, the use route is the route. But you have to be so careful, because you don't know how when a person took care of it. You don't know, some of the flaws. It may be scarred and, may have some patches, which compromises it, how it blows up and how stiff it is, and you don't know how much life it has left. There's a lot of things, and of course, just like anything, like a used car, everybody's not going to really divulge absolutely everything about what it is you're buying. So again, you have to be cautious, but it puts you in the position to buy more. So say you are a person who comes into the game with $15,000 or $20,000. You're going to hear a lot of people say, "Oh, you can start a bounce house business with $5,000." You can. It's a low barrier of entry. But are you trying to be viable in the industry, or are you just trying to rent a couple of inflatables? Keep those things in mind. But with that money, you get far more inventory, great inventory at that, and you really get to kind of entrench yourself into this business. And so my personal take is, I have like maybe 3 or 4 new pieces of inventory, and I'm starting to trickle in new. But because the sad fact is that so many people are going out of business and they're selling everything, that there's some people who have been in the business maybe 6 months. They didn't realize how heavy these things were. They didn't research it, and you're getting brand new stuff again for like 30% of what it costs. So that's my take on used. I gave you the pros. The pros are you can get great inventory at a fraction of the cost. You can get more inventory, more bang for your buck. And 9 times out of 10, when that person sells that to you, they're also going to include the blower and the stakes with it and the tarp. So you're getting the whole package deal for like 30% of what you could pay, or maybe 40% of what you would have paid retail. The cons, you don't know how much life it has left. You don't know how well the person took care of it. You don't know if it has mold. You don't know if the stains that are on it will come out. 9 times out of 10, when you get it, you got to clean it immediately. And I mean clean it, to make sure it's sanitized and it's ready to be rented. So that's something you have to worry about as far as the cons on buying used. And but no matter what your stance is on how you look at new versus used, and it be a lot. I'm talking to a person that's new. I'm talking to the person who's trying to get into this game. And my take is, buying used with information is the way to go. That goes back to good mentorship. That goes back to getting into these groups and talking to people who have been in the industry for years and years and years, who can guide you. I don't advise anybody to go out and just start buying inflatables without talking to somebody who's been in the industry for a while, new or used. Because you might be buying something that doesn't even rent. You think it rents because it looks good, but that isn't always the case. Just because it looks good does not mean it's a renter. So keep that in mind. So that's my take, man. New versus used. You use your best judgment, but I would use educated decisions making on this. Get you a mentor, get you in some groups, make smart choices so you can really jump into this game with both feet running. All right, this is your guy, Eric Johnson. Please comment and let me know what you think. Because I can easily learn from you and kind of revisit and refocus on my train of thought, and you can add some things to that. Just comment in the description, comment in the comment section. Like and subscribe. Share. Please put this out there so that one, it hits the algorithm, but what it does, it actually teaches me. I learn more from the more feedback I get. I am always, and I will always until the day I die, want to learn and continue to grow. I never know everything, and I don't want to know everything, because when I know everything, that means I think that there's nothing else to learn, and therefore I stop growing. And I always want to grow. So gang, I want you to like this. I want you to subscribe to it. I want you to comment on it. I want you to share it and take the Eric experience to another level. And again, I'm always representing Amusing Times, Barbaric Fitness, and it's always love.